Benvenuto, bienvenue, bienvenidos. We are going from Italy into France and then tomorrow back into Spain, where we have a strange sprint stage. Is it a sprint stage? Is it a breakaway stage? We do across the Alps into the French border, but it's like easy climbs but at high altitude. And the Col de Montgenèvre is pretty hard. I expected Trek to use the Lacet de Montgenèvre to drop Philipsen, especially after he was climbing so poorly yesterday. Coverage started and the break was in check, and it was a small break, the teams that we've seen represented on all the previous stages, and three of the sprint teams controlling Little Trek, Alpecin Deceuninck, and Israel Premier Tech. And if they're controlling Alpecin, well, obviously Jasper Philipsen is there, so there wasn't really a push to try and drop the pure sprinters, which I found surprising, nor really a huge breakaway fight from some rouleurs who don't want to go to a final sprint. And so the break gets caught at 80 Ks to go anyway, and there wasn't much motivation to jump from anyone except Fernandez, because it's like it's a big road, fast, sort of false flat downhill. You are at such a disadvantage to the peloton. The one climb in the final 80 Ks brought the GC teams to the front. Of course, it's the place where everyone's feeding, so they start to accelerate, and then Fernandez is caught, and it was about staying out of trouble. You see the peloton all looking out for each other pretty much, like Vingegaard's fifth wheel, UAE with Oliveira on the front, Hessman, I think, for Movistar. They're signaling. There's a lot of dividers in this stage, like a crazy amount of road furniture, and particularly dividers in the middle of the road, a few speed bumps in the finish. At the intermediate sprint, it's full points on offer because the breakaway's been caught. Groupama FDJ are going for the bonus seconds because Godou's on the same time as Vingegaard, so he wants to take a bonus second. Trek used the road furniture and the divider. They then accelerate and close off FDJ's lead out for David Godou. Bernard does that well for Dan Holer, and so Godou can take the red jersey on stage placements, but he'd rather also take a second on Vingegaard. He's not able to do that. He sprints up pretty well, but yeah, he's just not as fast on the flat as Pedersen. Vernon pretty much just lets Pedersen have the first spot. He doesn't spend any extra biscuits, and just takes second, losing the 3-point delta to Pedersen. So Ciccone, who actually contested it too, he took a few points. He was the provisional points jersey leader. Amarel used that opportunity to get ahead. The peloton wasn't in full protect GC leader mode. He gets caught at 15 Ks to go, and then the GC teams, UAE, Visma, then Trek for Pedersen. They're trying to stay in front because, a lot of road furniture, turns, right, left, dividers that come up. At least it wasn't raining like the other day. There was a crash. George Bennett goes down again, but I think all those rides were okay and continued. Importantly, it was two of the lead-outs for Alpecin Deceuninck, and Riesebeck, I think, had already been he'd been losing a lot of time for such a good rider, so I'm not sure if he's sick or not. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, I think they're going to do sneakily well in the TTT tomorrow, and they look pretty motivated for Jai Hindley. But as I showed before, it's with the 5K to go rule. If you're a lead out and there's not a big lead out train here for Alpecin Deceuninck, them and Trek, they're just going to sit off Visma Lease bike, let Campenarts do the work, and then when they pull off at 5Ks to go, they can just re-establish the front position without having to fight anybody. So that's what Trek and Alpecin were trying to do. Bora go middle, and then Campenarts pulls off, and he's like, we're done. Can someone else take over? It takes a while. It's a pretty sleepy last 80 kilometers because of just the way the stage worked out. And even with 4Ks to go, no one wanted to start their lead out yet because Trek only have Holer and Kragh Andersen for Pedersen. Alpecin only have Rickard and Plancart for Jasper Philipsen. But Ben Turner, he has Kwiato. He has one man, the Polish army knife, who basically does a one-man multi-kilometer lead out through all this road furniture, and then you've got the roundabout straight after the divider, and then you want to be on the left-hand side. If you're on the right-hand side, you can forget about it because it's way quicker through the left, and then Kwiatkowski closes the right-hand side, so then he can pedal a bit slower because also Arkea and Rickard don't want to open, so they're actually going, with a mile to go, Rickard, Biermann's lead out for Arkea, and Kwiatkowski aren't going that fast. They're trying to conserve their lead out, and no one else has a big lead out. It's not like Mikkels has 5 guys. Stewart just is there for Vernon. It's not like the Tour de France, where if you tried this in the Tour de France, then there'd be a train of 4 guys who'd come over you. And actually, Arkea, their leader just rolled off the front and Biermans closed him anyway. Ricard opens under the Flamme Rouge. There's some corners coming up that he wants to be first in. Mads Pedersen follows the Q365 rider, maybe Gonzalez, up the right. So Pedersen moves himself into good position. He's pretty much freelancing, but so is Ben Turner as well. They're side by side, Turner, Philipsen, and Pedersen through this corner. Pedersen going through P3. Problem is, I'm not sure he gets boxed, but he chooses the wrong side. At 500 to go, Plancart starts to open. He sprints. Turner quickly follows. He's like Jasper Philipsen with a Plancart lead out, 500 to go, meal ticket. Ethan Vernon's having to do more work. He sprints up the inside. Pedersen followed the picnic lead out who had finished, and he then has to decelerate, and Pedersen's stage is over in this corner. Like, if you're P12 in that corner, it's over at 500. Well, it's not even this. 300 to go when Plancart opens. So he had not much margin to play with Pedersen to catch back up positions, and it was too late for him. I'll show the overhead a little bit better, but then when it cut back to the front shot, we're like, hold on. Philipsen was supposed to win. Plancart just did like a lead out from really, really late, and you can see what happens. Because of this road, the way it bends, and the barriers come in left, Philipsen has decided here he's jumping left of Plancart. Vernon is also trying to jump inside Philipsen. Turner's thinking they will as well. Turner, though, knew that he was going to get closed off to the barrier as the third rider, so he recommitted right. Vernon's just stopped pedaling. Plancart has moved too far to the left, boxed in Philipsen, who'd already committed through the chicane to go left. He has to restart his sprint. Turner comes with momentum past them at 100, and it's way too late. So the way the road moved and then the barriers came in, it cut off the space that he normally would open to the left. Just unfortunate for Alpecin de Koenig. Philipsen comes second behind Turner, Plancart third, Vernon fourth, Biermans, Pedersen, Christen, Aular, Silva, and then Burati. Here's what the young Brit had to say after the stage.
I wanted to come to the Vuelta, and I had still issues with my leg a lot since the Giro, and yeah, the team really believed in me, and I went to Renui, and then they said they needed me, so yeah, of course you say yeah. I mean, I'd do anything to race these races, and it's just a crazy feeling, and I was devastated on the first sprint when my chain came off, and I really believed in myself today. I felt really good all day, and yeah, I don't know what to say. Just thank you to the boys. I mean, I just such a good atmosphere this race, and like it's just been amazing, all of them, you know, and just the last few weeks has been incredible.
In terms of GC, David Gaudu takes the red jersey before the team time trial tomorrow on stage placements ahead of Jonas Wingegaard. Ciccone on 8 seconds, Bernal 14 seconds, 24k TTT tomorrow, so can be pretty important gaps. Some teams are already down to 7 riders like Movistar and Visma. We'll see who takes the time, we'll see who wins. I think Ineos are probably the favourites. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you with the recap tomorrow. Ciao, ciao, ciao.